I don't know, guys. Maybe 10th time's the charm. We'll see. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Hey there, I'm Nicole Roche, and this is the first episode ever of Stage 4 Thriver, where we embrace the integrative approach to healing chronic disease. This also happens to be my first YouTube video ever, so please don't mind any growing pains you may see along the way. Y'all, I'm driving myself crazy here. All right. Anyways, if you are here, you most likely have an interest in health and wellness. In a nutshell, I'm a health and wellness coach, a hypnotherapist, a wife, a mama, and just recently, I gave an eviction notice to a stage 4 cancer diagnosis. I'm currently NED, which means no evidence of disease. Take that, you jerk. Stay tuned for more on my personal story in a future episode. It's a little too much to squeeze into this one, and it's also pretty emotional. My biggest intention with this channel is to bring you, the audience, as much value as possible. If you're here because you have had the unpleasant experience of being given a cancer diagnosis, I want you to know that I see you. I see your struggle. I 100% was exactly where you are now. I'm hoping that the hundreds of hours of research that I've put in will help save you a whole heck of a lot of time and energy. With that in mind, let's jump in. First of all, allow me to clarify the terms. I am an integrative health coach, which means that I embrace multiple modalities of healing, which include both conventional and holistic schools of thought. I have seen dogmatic attitudes from both perspectives, and I strongly feel that this is one of the biggest barriers to cancer recovery today. That's why I'm here. I have benefited greatly from many modalities, and I know that you will too. Integration also refers to the whole person. So that means we address not just the physical, but also the emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects of health. So that's where I'm coming from. Cool? Great! So here we go. Just got a diagnosis? Here are the first 5 things that I would do. Step 1, pause, breathe, take a minute. As a matter of fact, take like 3 days. You just had an atom bomb drop onto the landscape of your life. And as urgent as everything seems right now, just know that this disease did not appear yesterday. And it's not going anywhere yet. And you do have some time before you need to take action. Maybe not a whole lot, but definitely at least a few days. This is the kind of information you really need to let absorb and soak in. A lot of things in your life are about to change. Don't rush into anything. Take some time to integrate this new reality. This is not the time to be hopping directly onto Dr. Google, although I will say that research is absolutely on your horizon. But for now, this is a time to connect with your loved ones and allow the people in your life to emotionally support you and to begin sharing this news in ways that make sense to you. That may be a trickle to a very few select people, or you can be a nut like me and just publicly announce it on Facebook. Would I do that again? Probably. But that's because that's what felt right to me at the time. What feels right to you? Take some time to feel all the emotions that are going through you. Don't suppress them. Get them out, all of them, even the really dark, scary ones. Those, by the way, are the worst, and I have 100% felt them as well. So you aren't alone in that. It's important to give space for those feelings because you want to process all of them and release them. Listen, at the end of the day, you are allowed to hit rock bottom. I even suggest that you do, but you have to promise yourself you won't stay there. Your healing needs your mind. It needs your heart. It needs your hope and your optimism. So let's just pause right now in the beginning and process everything that's coming up. Step 2. Okay, so after you have felt all of your feelings, it's time to put your game face on. Listen up, because what I'm about to tell you is probably the biggest piece of advice I have in not only this video, but every single video that's to come. One of the biggest steps you will ever take towards your healing is making the decision within yourself that you want it and that you're willing to fight for it. Of course, recovery isn't as simple as desiring it, but I know for a fact that your mindset and your personal outlook are critical in the healing process. I fought stage 4 cervical cancer for 2 years. I had 2 recurrences, despite working really hard to overcome it. Finally, I had a critical shift one day after my second recurrence where I decided deep down within myself that I truly, sincerely, genuinely wanted to survive. I put my focus on my recovery and I would not let anything else come into my mind. I was not only optimistic, I was laser focused. It was as if every option other than victory was just off the table. I wasn't sure how I was going to climb the mountain in front of me, only that I knew I would climb it, period. One step at a time. After this mental shift, my other integrative approaches became wildly effective, and I received my first clear scan not long after. I believe that this determination is more than mental, it's medicinal. Don't take it from me though. I love to lean heavily on the evidence in this channel. And sure enough, a positive outlook is associated with a lower risk of poor health outcomes, stress reduction, immune system support, and improved coping mechanisms, to name a few. I've always wanted to do this pointing TikTok thing. First time. The bottom line, your mindset absolutely matters. And if you're going to heal, it's partially because you've made the choice that it's worth it to you and that you're willing to fight for it. Number 3. All right, we have our heart and our head in the right place. Now it's time to do the work. The third step is to learn everything you can about your specific diagnosis. Cancer is not a singular diagnosis. It is a universe of quirks, mutations, and metabolic issues. One of the most disturbing things I see now after being in this world for a few years is people dishing out advice as if it's universal. It's not. What works for someone else will not necessarily work for you. And in some cases, it could make your situation worse. So it's super important to get information that is sound. If I could go back to day 1, I would get this book, Naturopathic Oncology by Neil McKinney. It is a must-have. Information in this book is specific to different kinds of cancer, advises on supplementation that will work well on its own, but even better, will boost the efficacy of conventional treatment. It will also tell you how to mitigate side effects and what to steer clear from. And sometimes that info can be surprising. This is a resource that you can trust. Other resources that you can trust are academic research papers that are widely available on sites like Google Scholar. One misconception is that there's no research available on holistic protocols, but this just isn't the case. There is a ton of scientific research that you can look at online. If there is a certain supplement or strategy that you are interested in, I would recommend going onto Google Scholar and typing in the supplement, the type of cancer, and the term in vivo. This will give you results where the supplement showed some efficacy in actual physical bodies and not just a petri dish. Oftentimes this might be mice that we're talking about, but it's the closest that we can get in many circumstances with holistic measures. Nevertheless, you might be surprised at what you find. I recommend checking every supplement that's on your radar in the scientific research and discarding the rest. This does not come from a place of skepticism in naturopathic medication. On the contrary, it comes from a place of being pleasantly surprised by how much the conventional world has actually published on holistic methods. Give it a shot, you'll be surprised, I promise. And actually, right now, I am offering a free Integrative Oncology Reference Index. I realize that research takes a lot of time and energy, and it's extremely difficult to find a wide variety of research compiled into one place. So that's why I made this. The index lists over 100 scientifically backed supplements, medications, and actions that you can take to support an anti-cancer lifestyle. Every entry in the index includes a definition of what it is, what anti-cancer potential it offers, and a link to academic research that you can review to see for yourself what the science says. That was kind of a tongue twister. Finally, I recommend joining a few Facebook groups, some that are specific to your cancer, but then also a few key alternative cancer groups. I won't mention them here just in case it upsets the algorithms, but I will link them below. They are really valuable. You will get to see survivor stories, testimonials, and you will learn a ton. I learned so much from being in these groups. But I also learned to do my own research alongside of them. You can do the same. Number 4. All right, we got our learn on. We feel empowered and equipped with knowledge. Fabulous. Now what? Now it's time to form your team. You probably have a conventional oncology team, but perhaps not so much on the naturopathic side of things. I recommend at the very least to hire a naturopathic doctor or a nutritionist who has experience in oncology. And I'm not talking about the nutritionists in the chemo room handing out Little Debbie's, Cheetos, and Dr. Peppers, okay? We need someone who deeply understands ways of eating that heal. We will explore that Pandora's box at length at a later date. But for now, just know that while there are options in the way that you approach diet, most likely the way that you eat now is going to have to change. I know, that might have been the worst part. An ND or a nutritionist is going to be the professional voice in your life to greenlight the research that you've been doing and help you to piece it together like a puzzle. You can try to form your own protocols. It can be done, but you will probably feel unsure about whether you're doing it right, and it will feel really awesome to hear a professional say,
"Hey kid, you did a great job. I love this, and I'm all for it."
Fantastic. Unfortunately, most conventional doctors are not in agreement that lifestyle has much impact on health outcomes.
That's so dumb it makes me mad.
So if you're going for an integrative approach, you will need to bring on professionals out of pocket. It's worth every penny, just do it. That leads me to the next aspect of your team, your community. I want to encourage you to allow people to help you right now. I'm sure that you are a fiercely independent individual, but now is the time to let others help. Help might have some different looks. Meal trains, GoFundMes, and help with housework and childcare are common ways that the community comes together in support. Please don't fight this. Community is one of the things that is going to help you get through this. If a GoFundMe or community-based financial support is unrealistic in your situation, there are still a lot of ways to seek help. You can do that through nonprofit organizations and foundations. As an oncology patient, you may have already discovered all of the people working on your case. Doctors, surgeons, nurse navigators, social workers. Find out who your social worker is. Talk to them about the resources available in your area. Use them. They may include integrative therapies such as massage or acupuncture. There are a lot of ways to accept support, and I encourage tapping into all of them. The 5th thing that I would recommend to anyone who just received a diagnosis is to begin establishing some new routines. You are going to develop these over time, especially as you onboard your naturopathic doctors, nutritionists, all those things. However, in the meantime, there are a lot of things that you can do right now at home. I want to leave you with a few suggestions. And this is one of my heavy hitters that I'm leaving you with. So, may I introduce to you the at-home cancer clinic. I am 100% planning on doing a video on this topic in the future because it has been such a big part of my healing process. But in a nutshell, I have holistic remedies scattered all throughout my house, and I use them every day. Unlike supplements or medications, these things are universally good for health. In most cases, there's always one, can't speak for everybody. But most of the time, these things are going to be just fine. That's because they focus on wellness, stress reduction, feeling good. So every day I take out up to 2 hours. I know that may seem a lot to you right now, but carving out this space in your day for healing time is going to be one of your goals. I'm hoping that you will see in time that 2 hours is actually not a big ask. In those 2 hours, I focus on stress reduction and wellness and feeling good. When you feel good, you send some very strong signals to your body that all is well. Some of the things I do include Epsom salt baths, going for a run, cold plunging, using my hilarious portable sauna, doing breath work or meditation outside, grounding, which is basically getting your bare feet connected to the earth, healthy food prep, juicing, and laying on my acupressure mat. This list is not exhaustive. It is absolutely incredible how much you can do right at home. Affordably. That's the key word here. It's affordable. Cancer gets expensive. So knowing some of these at-home hacks is really, really helpful. Stay tuned for my Integrative Healing on a Budget series. I'm very excited about that. So, to sum up the at-home cancer clinic, just take a look around your environment. What do you already have access to? In most cases, I'm willing to bet that you have some things laying around that lend themselves to an experience of wellness. But even if you came back and said,
Nicole, I have none of that stuff.
I would say to you, you have access to fresh air and hopefully a comfortable bed. Start with breath work, baby. Start with prayer and meditation. I promise you, you have access to resources to start a wellness routine. And you have to do that because it's going to help you immensely. And you deserve it. And that's it. Those are the first 5 steps that I would take if I received a diagnosis today. I hope these ideas are helpful for you. I know right now probably feels full of uncertainty, but I want you to know that I believe in you. And I believe in your victory. I'll be here cheering you on, and I hope that you tune in again for more topics on integrative health. If you are interested in coaching or hypnotherapy, please visit my website here in the comments, the details, down there somewhere. All right, and until then, keep thriving. Bye. Do you guys want to see some outtakes from yesterday? I do. I already feel so awkward. Why is it like backwards? Along? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Dogs are barking. Oh, now the dogs are barking. Hello. Hello. Hi. Y'all, I'm driving myself crazy here. All right. This is not easy. Do we like this wig? I feel like this is a good YouTube wig.